about the Kel-Tec PF9. We just finished talking about the trigger. There's a few more things I want to say about ergonomics. The slide serrations, which, yes, for the love of me, I could not remember the name of those in my last review. Here we go. Slide serrations are very nice. They're not fancy or anything like that, but they certainly get the job done. No, you do not have them in the front. But speaking of this slide, I gotta tell you, I don't know what it is about the PF9, but it is just a good-looking gun to me, and I can't really explain why, but I think it does have something to do with this little portion up here. I like how they have these kind of milled out portions in the slide, and then, you know, the accessory rail is kind of neat to have too if you needed it, and I will say something about that in a minute. But it's just, there's something cool. There's just something kind of cool about this gun, and I can't really put my finger on it, but I do really dig this gun a lot. Okay, so that's kind of ergonomics. I hope I covered everything I need to in there. Like I said, in the hand this does fit pretty well. It does have a bit of a high bore axis. I don't know if you could even really change that out. You know, I don't think they could really improve much on that because of the way that this gun is so compact. But I've been really happy with it. Okay, so let's talk about fit and finish. Well, I'm going to talk to you about value here in just a moment, and I think that's really going to play a part into the fit and finish portion of this. Let's just, for now, just say that value is very high on this gun. I mean, like, stellar high. And so you can't get everything. And although I would say that fit and finish is nice on this gun, you're not buying a $600 gun here, okay? So there may be a few things that may bother you, but honestly, I haven't found anything that's going to make me shy away from this gun. Excuse me, still kind of fighting that cough cold thing I got going on. So unlike that SD9, and yeah, I'll just kind of jack that safety cap out because I want to point this back at the camera. This does not have any side-to-side issues here. This is perfectly centered, and I'm going to actually start looking at this a little bit more on all the guns that I kind of check out because I was really surprised about the SD9. And as you can see here, this is perfectly centered, looks really good. And doesn't that 9mm hole, doesn't that look pretty big in a gun this size? It looks pretty huge. So anyway, let me see. Fit and finish. This is the blued slide, and it does come in several different kinds. It has kind of a matte finish, which I can't remember the name of it, but it does have different finishes, and it comes in a chrome slide as well if you're interested. This was just the one I found available in my town, and it was also for the right price too. So I just went ahead and clicked onto this one. And you know what? I will say here, you can probably see it. It's on the actual barrel. There is some surface rust, and you know, like I said, I do carry this quite a bit, and so you better be careful. Because some of these parts can rust on you, and you kind of run that risk with any blued slide pistol, because that's one of the issues. And yeah, I try to, you know, keep up with the maintenance on this even more so than with my other carry pistols, just because of that. So if you are concerned about that, if that bothers you, then I would say upgrade to the chrome slide or that coated slide, and then that will probably take care of most of those issues. But you know, here we are. This is on your barrel, and so I don't know if those different finishes are going to help you much with that. So anyway, there that is. Where are we? Oh, accessories. Yeah, a few notes on this, accessory-wise. I am happy to report that this gun has been out for a decent amount of time, and yes, we do have holsters for it. And this is my crossbreed Super Tuck, which I've done a little modifying on, which you probably shouldn't be surprised by that, because I modify a bunch of crap, even if I don't really need to. It's just kind of what I like to do. So you can see that this fits in perfectly, and it may not be such a friction fit that it won't fall out, even though you can't see this. I'm holding it like that. I mean, it's not falling out. Let's see how much it takes to get it to fall out. Okay, so a decent little jiggle will get it to come out of there. But a good fit. I've been really happy with this holster. Yeah, I did a little modification on it, but you don't have to do that. I just wanted to bring this forward a little bit on my hip to where it's more like a 3 o'clock. And back here, this is the original cut. And so you would basically have another one of these coming down and around, and it would just bite into my hip a little bit. So I just, cut it off and did some my own modifying. So anyway, but I've been really happy with this crossbreed. I am open to different holsters for sure. I'm not like singing the praises of crossbreed. I just wanted to give you kind of an idea that, yeah, hey, there are some good holsters out there that you can get for this gun now. And I even have a little holster, ankle holster that I don't use for this gun, but you certainly could. It fits in there just fine. And I think that this gun might be a little heavy for ankle carry. I'm sure there are people that would scoff at that and say, oh, ankle carry with a PF9 would just be a joy, because I'm sure people do it with those baby Glocks and stuff. But I wouldn't opt for that. I like to keep it light on my ankles. I think that far away from your moment arm, it really increases how much weight that turns out to be. So I wouldn't say that I would use that for ankle carry, and I wouldn't use this for pocket carry either. And I mean, that's kind of a personal decision, but I'm going to have this in a belt holster. Yeah, it's really small. It's like the lightest weight 9mm you can dig into right now. But even at that, this is too big for my pockets. And, like I said, I'm 6'2.5" in weight. And this is, too big for me to pocket carry. So I'm going to have it in a holster. I'm going to have it on my belt. But I'm still probably going to forget about it halfway through the day, and which is a wonderful thing to be able to say about a gun. As far as accessories are concerned, you can, and you saw this in my SD9 review, the TLR3 from Streamlight. You can put it on there, and I did just that very thing. You do have to change out the insert here, and as you can see, this is the D insert, which is specifically made for the PF9, and then you tighten that up, and it works like a charm. I mean, that works great. And the thing I would say about that is I don't see people doing that often unless you're just getting started out and this is like your first gun, which I think that this would be great for. This would be a good first gun, not for target shooting, but for self-defense, because it can do both roles. It can be a home defender, and it can also be a CCW. And putting on a flashlight and having that rail capability really helps out with that home defense kind of role. And I did that very thing until I ended up getting my SD9. I had that light on there every night, and it was ready to rock and roll. So I'm really happy to have that accessory rail, and that's another thing about this versus that Ruger LC9. You get the accessory rail, and yeah, some people would say a gun this size you don't need it, but I needed it. I used it, so I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would probably use it too. So there's that. I think that's a cool thing to have, just because. And you know what? It doesn't take away from any of its concealability. Never has it hung up on that little lip or anything whenever I've drawn it from the holster. So no downside, only plus. So I'll take it since it's there, and I'm glad I had it. Kel-Tec does sell a +2 base plate for these now. I have not tested it. I've heard some mixed reviews on it on KTOG, so I don't know if I'm even going to hook into it or not. Like I said, I've gotten so used to putting my pinky kind of up and under there. I don't know if I'd really need that extension. I wouldn't mind having an extra 2 rounds in there. That would be cool. But I don't know if I'll even get into that. I'll wait to see kind of how that pans out. If I get one, I'll do a little review on it and kind of, throw it in here with this or something like that. So those are available. If you want to try them out, go for it. And if you had any experience with that, maybe you should put a comment down there and speak to its reliability and that kind of thing if you'd like to. Okay, so let's talk about track record real quick. This design has been out for quite some time now. It has, in my shooting experience, been very reliable with anything besides this junk. So I've been really happy with that. But at the same time, it does have somewhat of a spotty track record because of the older versions. They did have issues and stuff, but all that stuff's been worked out. Like I said, keep an eye out for that metal magazine release, and that'll let you know right off the bat if you've got the correct one or not. Let's talk about sight presentation real quick, because I think I missed it. It is a 3-dot presentation, just like you see in so many other guns, and it doesn't have night sight capability from the factory. I don't even know for sure if they make night sights for the PF9 or not. I haven't done any research into it because I've been happy with these. But you can see it does have a little bit of wear on that top right, or that right sight. But I think that's just me, because my SD9 is starting to show a little bit of wear there too. So I don't really know. Maybe I'm doing something stupid with that when I carry it. But anyway, the sights are great. You do have some adjustment left or right on this rear sight. From the factory, when I got this gun, it was shooting very high for me. And they do sell a shim kit for this, but that's not really going to fix my issue. So I actually had to take fine sandpaper. I removed the sight, which is just really easy. So you just pop that out and yank it out, and then I put it on a flat surface, and I just sanded it down. And that did the job for me, and it brought the sights right into point of impact. But if you have the opposite, if it's shooting too low for you, then you can get that shim kit and right from Kel-Tec. And Kel-Tec has really good accessory stuff for a lot of their guns, and really cool customer service. So they're gonna get you hooked up with that. And also, one thing to say about Kel-Tec is they kind of have like a weird cult following, and I suppose I probably fall into that group now as well. And the one I can think of the most is the Sub 2000, and I don't have an example of that with me. I would love to. Man, someday I'll probably have one. But I have seen so many weird things that users have done on the Sub 2000, and to include things that jacked their gun up kind of bad. And I've never heard anything bad about the Kel-Tec customer service, and what I mean by that is these dudes would send their guns back, and Kel-Tec would just kind of say, alright, well, we'll go ahead and fix that for you, and they would send it back to them, fixed up. So the customer service is awesome with Kel-Tec, and I had a question, I asked them about the sight thing, and they're like, yeah, that shim kit's not going to do anything for you. So they suggested to, work that down on the sandpaper, and I read that same thing in the Kel-Tec owners group, that KTOG forum, and so I just went ahead and did it, and it worked out great. I think I'll do one more part real quick, and I'll do a quick takedown just so you can see how it comes apart, and then I'll give you a final thought, and I'll throw out the price out there for you too, and we'll call it good on that. Alright, see you in part 3. Bye.